Here's what it's like to live in different Canadian provinces during the summer. Northwest Territories has some of the most beautiful landscapes you have ever seen during the summer, and you will be forced to see them because they can get up to 20 hours of daylight. Despite being connected to some of the largest lakes in the world, Ontario will never fail to make you wish they were all frozen again. British Columbia is the definition of paradise, except this paradise also lights on fire. No matter if it's hot or cold out, expect to feel extremely wet all the time, anytime in the Maritimes.
Wow, it looks really nice outside. You know what? I actually might go out for a bit, Let's go. Alright, let's go. We got the jacket. Let's go outside. What the f?
Welcome to Canada. I thought all you guys spoke French. Not all stereotypes are true. Oh, are the winters awful? Well, yeah. And you guys all love hockey. Yeah. And you guys say A all the time. Okay, big stereotype kind of guy, eh? No, wait.
Today, I decided to travel to one of the world's most boring cities, and you're probably thinking it's some sort of tiny town, but it turns out it was actually the capital of a country. According to Google, Ottawa is the most boring city in all of Canada, so obviously I had to explore it. Apparently, it's overrated, unsafe, and freezing cold, which are all things people complained about, so I booked a $200 train ticket to make my way there to see what it was actually like. Right off the bat, when I left the train, it was a freezing -10, but now I had to figure out how to get downtown. After leaving the train station, I ended up finding the subway, and luckily I had enough money to use it, and when I finally got to the main part of the city, I couldn't believe what things were really like. So go check out the full video to see.
Can we go to Tim Hortons? Can we go to Timmy's? Let's go to Timmy's there, bud. Hey, bud, let's go to Timmy's after practice there, eh? Holy, bud, that double you brought me this morning was an absolute twine twickler. I mean, all we need now is a couple cold ones at the ODR, right?
Okay, I'm from Canada, and I think that's a weird place to be from. I also think nobody knows, no one knows what Canada's like. Like, when I was traveling, I just feel like I had to explain a lot of things. Like, it's hot here. Like, it's 35 degrees outside right now. I mean, obviously Canada's so big, so I can only speak for where I'm from, which is, the west coast side. I'm not on the coast, but it's, so hot in the summer. And it's, everyone comes here to enjoy the summers here. And, we will bear a freezing, horrible, gross winter for, 6 months just to experience, 3 nice months of summer. It's that nice in the summer. Do people know it's hot in Canada? I feel like that's just people don't. It's cold in the winter, super cold. But in the summer it's super hot. It's Celsius, 35 degrees Celsius. I should say that. Anyways.
I think Canadians may be too nice for their own good. And the only reason why I say this is because I recently was in Canada and experienced this firsthand. A couple weeks ago, I was at this restaurant in Montreal. And at first, everything was normal. We all get seated, we get the menus, and then we start to order. When I order, I mention that I'm a vegetarian, and I proceed to order the vegetarian poutine. And the waitress was just like, great choice. And I tell you, this waitress just exuded happiness. She complimented everyone. She was just so nice. Fast forward, the food comes, and I get what I think is vegetarian poutine. I start eating, it is amazing, everyone is enjoying their food, and the waitress comes by and she's just like, how's everything going? And we're all just like, amazing. Now, about halfway through me eating what I think is my vegetarian poutine, the waitress comes back to our table and she just says, I am so sorry, guys. And we all kind of just stop eating and look at her. She tells us that she accidentally switched up our orders and she gave me the non-vegetarian poutine. She was just like, sorry, so many times. And I felt bad because I don't really care. Like, I'm not that strict of a vegetarian. If someone makes a mistake, I'll just eat it. So I tell her like, no, it's okay. Like, I can eat this. I'm not that strict. She was just like, I feel so bad. I'm gonna get you the right dish. She goes off, and when she comes back, she not only brings a brand new dish of vegetarian poutine for me, she brings the entire table flights of champagne. And as she was giving us the champagne, she kept on saying, sorry. I get through like half of my vegetarian poutine, but I cannot eat anymore because I ate so much of the other poutine. My entire table was pretty much done eating, so we decided to get the check, and we asked if we could split it. The waitress comes back with the checks, and I don't get one. She tells me that she's so sorry for putting me through that, and the restaurant comped my meal. I'm thinking to myself, putting me through what? You just gave me an extra dish of poutine and free champagne. But I kind of just roll with it because that's an ace. I then ask for a box for the food that I didn't finish, and I even felt bad asking for that because she's already giving me so much. And she was just like, oh, I'll do it for you, and she takes my food back to the kitchen. She comes back with my boxed food and then another box of takeout poutine. Is that not overly nice? When the time comes to pay, the waitress asks everybody at the table to just not tip. It's just like, I'm so sorry, I put you guys through too much. And I'm thinking to myself, what did they go through? I didn't even really go through anything. In America, I feel like if they got your dish wrong, they wouldn't even tell you as long as you're happy. I feel like if every customer mishap was handled that way, nobody would be able to stay in business. How does Canada do it? Why is everyone so nice?
This is an age-old question.
You want people to validate you in a really subtle way.
The Alberta people say, hey. They say, hey.
Alberta people?
That's what that's what they call themselves, right?
Honey, I think I've used a bit too much of your product. I'm sorry.
Stop being sorry, honey.
Okay, you're right. I'm sorry. No, wait.
My goodness.
Okay, sorry. No, but like, you know what I'm saying. Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry, but no. Oops, sorry.
I'm sorry, honey, but I don't understand what's going on.
Oh, honey, I'm sorry. I didn't have caramel, but I got chocolate for you.
Okay, that's okay.
Sorry.
Being Indian, my expectations with Canadian colleges. Diverse crowd, partying. After coming, only to realize everyone is Indian, even the professor.
I'm Canadian. Of course I'm gonna wear a miniskirt and go clubbing in freezing weather. I'm Canadian. Of course I eat ketchup chips. I'm Canadian. Of course I drink milk from a bag.
Here's part 2 of words that Canadians say that make it very clear that they're Canadian, because you guys have me questioning everything. The first word is foyer, and I don't know how else somebody would say this. I think I have heard foyer before, and that's just wrong. I don't even know if this is a Canadian thing or just like a basic human thing, but this is foyer. Okay, the next word is bag. You guys commented this so much on my last video. I don't know how else you say it. Bag? That's it. That's all. Next, we have the word crayon, and this is another one that I'm like, how else do you say it? Crayon? Crayon. How else do you say? Is this a Canadian thing or? Last but not least, we have garage. Garage? Garage? I've heard garage before. That is ugly coming out of the mouth. Garage. It's garage. I don't know.
Things I didn't realize that were so Canadian until I went down to the States. Just felt fitting that I did this video while I held a Tim Hortons cup. Okay, number 1, we have craft dinner. And I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make some craft dinner tonight. And they would be like, what is craft dinner? And I'm like, mac and cheese? And they're like, you mean Kraft mac and cheese, not craft dinner. Second thing was like, oh, can I go to the washroom? And they literally laughed at me. Were like, what, washroom? In America, you guys say bathroom. Very proper. The third one I get made fun of a lot is for saying pasta instead of pasta. Tomato, tomato. We have Timbits. Americans call them donut holes. And one of the funniest ones to me is I've met some Americans that genuinely believe I live in an igloo just because I live in Canada.